discuss it.
You want to discuss it?
Yeah, I'll discuss it.
Okay, that motion failed. Okay. Chris, do you want to discuss? Do you have any questions?
I'll discuss it, you want to make another motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we discuss this agenda item for the architect, historical architect for Oakdale. I think, Bob, you weren't here the last time, right?
No.
Okay, Bob really just hasn't had time, I guess, to get caught up with what's going on. I think that we, go ahead.
I'll go either way at this point. If you want to allow Bob more time, you can. If not, I'll follow.
Well, Peggy.
Well, our last discussion on this, we're going to discuss this, was during the retreat, as far as I know. And then we had the other presentation meeting before that from the other group.
Okay.
And the cost of doing this, like I stated in there, I'm not for spending any of this money until we have somebody to monitor what we're doing. I mean, we just keep spending money for studies and reports and what have you. I mean, nothing. I'm not wasting any more city money on it.
Well, it's not,
Studies.
it's not a study here that we're talking about. We're talking about architect, telling us what we need to do down there to all the cabin stuff so we can start to work on it.
And the grant, get the grant.
It's holding up process. We got cabins down there now, we can't rent out.
Okay, will this here, Mr. Brody has submitted, meet the requirements for the grant?
I'm not sure. Is Mr. Brody here?
No, he's not ready to. Well, we had 3 submitted. And I suggested that we listen to all 3, but Peggy said they're rated number 1 through 3, and if we don't choose one, that means we should choose 2.
Historic Commission.
Yes, the historic.
Rated it
They're
for
rated?
us.
Yes,
We declined the first one because of
the expense,
the expense, which was $36,000.
yes.
Technically, I don't know if any of them are meeting the requirements of the grant. It wouldn't say in there that we're gonna meet the requirements of your grant.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think what it's again, and this is the problem. You got a grant, all right, somebody needs to say, okay, to do this grant, we need this information from an architect. Then you have to put out an RFP, request for proposal, or not, or a request for proposal on how to meet that grant. And whoever gets back has to basically meet those items that you have to fulfill to meet the grant. And that's what I'm saying, is I think we just keep shooting from the hip.
Did we apply for that grant already?
No, not a historical grant. Karen is the one who got us started down this path, her and Mary Salzarella.
The grant we have now through the Historic Commission is for the nomination of Oakdale into the National Registry. And that will, it's as Oakdale is now. Moving forward, what the historic architect will do is give us guidance for adaptive reuse of the buildings, how can we keep the historic integrity and get them ready for new uses and where we can utilize them. But keep, just to help in any, I would say any qualified architect would be able to help with that is done historically.
So this proposal is not to
It-
submit
it
for
would-
another
It
grant.
could help for future funding, future grants, because we could get actually bricks and mortar grants, not a lot of actual construction money grants are out there, but we could get some help to implement the architect's recommendations for many of the 3. So, I think any of the 3 their recommendations would help in future grant funding. Obviously, those that have had a lot of experience, the first firm had so much extensive experience with the Historic Commission. I mean, that helps.
And do we
Have
need
connections.
an architect also to be recognized with the National Registry, Historical
No.
Registry? We do not have to have an architect
No,
to,
no.
for that.
No, you do not have to have an architect. A homeowner can proceed with the process. It's a tedious process, but it's not required.
I was with the understanding that we needed the architect in order to go forward with this.
You could risk losing, not getting the national
That's
register.
what
That is
that's
what
I'm asking.
that,
Yes.
that part is true. If the restoration of the buildings, the rehabilitation of the buildings down there is not done, if aluminum windows get put in, all of them, the exterior gets changed, we will have done the nomination in vain. That $5,000 would be for naught, because we would not be accepted into the registry.
Well, we gave this to the Preservation Board to recommend the architects, and we got 3 recommendations. This is the second. We chose not to go with the first because of the expense. So, do we want to discuss this farther? What do we want to do?
I think we need to get the ball rolling, because we get some work done down at Oakdale. But we got cabins down there, how many cabins we got that you wouldn't even want to rent out? More than you do? You know, and I know we're talking about spending money to get them fixed up, but we can't make no money off of them as long as they're sitting there and we can't even rent them out. We've been expensive purchasing them, and now we're not gonna fix them up. Well, that's a lot of money in vain too. So,
Well, I think Mr. Brode's price is well within reason. If we're gonna get an architect,
these here close. They can come down there, it's probably drop of a hat. And if when they got a question or something, they're working on the thing.
agree with that. Well, we don't need another tie, so I don't know.
Would it make the decision easier if we got Mr. Brode in and had him sit down with y'all, maybe he could reassure you that his work would be in line with getting us that nomination? Or do you want to just go on to the third person? Or do you want to talk
I
about?
thought you
No,
said you
no.
could, yeah, I think
No,
we need.
you can say, no, we don't want Mr. Brode, and you can go to the third person.
Well, I've thought about it myself, and since he is local, he's here, we can call him anytime, I would be satisfied to go with him. He doesn't have to drive, he could be right a distance, he's right here, so we need to talk to him. The Preservation Board needs to discuss anything, he's here.
Well, I was hoping he was gonna be here tonight,
I was too.
because I was gonna ask him a question. Or can we be confident when we do all this work down at Oakdale, per your specifications, that we can slide right on into to the grants and the national market and all that stuff?
That would be a good thing to ask him.
That's what I was going,
He could reassure us of that.
that's what I wanted to ask him.
Make a motion to table it till next meeting. I'll reiterate that. I think table till next meeting and ask him to come here and talk to
Yeah,
him about it.
I think it's what we need to do.
Okay, Bob Strickland has made a motion to move this agenda item to the next meeting, so Mr. Brode can be here. I, Barbara Mitchell, will second the motion. All in favor? Passes 4-0.